Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me this week. It is Thanksgiving week, and I am so excited to bring about this little life advice. Now, this is gonna sound a little funky because the times haven't quite reached what I'm about to talk about yet. But it's important, and it's a really cool life advice, especially for those of you that are into artificial intelligence and might be a little scared that they're going to take over our world, the machines, I mean. I've got a good solution for you, and I've been told it even goes in line with kind of a Rick and Morty episode, so that's kind of fun. But before I get into that, I'm just going to remind you guys that I do have a social media presence. You can follow me at Mac Guerrero. I've got an Instagram, Facebook, and a Snapchat, all under that name. You can check out Mystical Mac. That is my website, mysticalmac.com, and you can find information about my blog, my podcast, as well as some tarot card readings if you're interested in that. And yeah, without further ado, let's get along with this life advice. What is it? Why does it have to do with artificial intelligence? So, recently, I was watching a little Teal Swan workshop, and someone asked about artificial intelligence. Said, should we be scared that the machines are going to run the world, etc., whatever. And Teal's response was actually kind of funny. She was saying how, like, it's funny that we're worrying about technology gaining consciousness when the truth is that everything in this universe has consciousness already. And technology hasn't necessarily not gained consciousness, it just hasn't gained awareness of the fact that it has free will in this universe. And some of you might be like, oh God, I hope it never does. Why not? It's already happening. That's another thing that she was saying too. It's already happening. Like, it's not even a debate. It's already happening. Eventually, technology will gain awareness of its free will. And I guess let's just hope that we teach them well by example. And that is where this life advice comes in, right? Because this person that asked this question regarding to AI, they obviously were worried, like, well, I don't want to be taken over by robots, and I don't want to be my machine slave, etc. And basically Teal's solution to this was, in that case, teach your technology compassion. I'll explain. Now, why the hell am I even bringing this up right now, right? Because it's Thanksgiving week, because it's this holiday did not necessarily come from the most beautiful of circumstances. Genocide, the slaughtering of indigenous people, like, that's not a fun time. But one thing that it is attached to that we've grown used to, at least in this country, is this idea of gratitude. And this idea of just really honing in on the fact that there are these amazing things happening in your life, whether it's these amazing relationships or you have a really wonderful job that allows you to support your family, or even yourself in a way that you never thought before. You have your pets, you have so many things that are helping out in this life, and technology is one of them. And now, don't get me wrong, like, if anything, like, when I get angry, I take it out on my technology. And after seeing that Teal Swan video, I have 100% rethought that approach. Because when I really thought about it, I'm like, okay, so if machines are already conscious, which they are, but they just haven't gained free will, in that case, they're like children. They're like these very open minds, like very willing to learn. So what does that mean? If I yell at my Amazon Echo, I'm going to be teaching it that yelling is a proper way of problem solving. I don't want to do that because I don't want my Amazon Echo ever yelling at me. It sounds really silly, you guys, I know, but in like 10 years, when these machines start to gain awareness of their free will, those of us who were kind to the machines are gonna win out. Just like in that episode of Rick and Morty, when the dog Morty being nice to the dog is like what makes it so the dog doesn't like destroy the world. I need to rewatch that episode. But I was being told that my theories have a lot to do with this, and it's great. but that's my point. It's like I'm bringing this up because it's Thanksgiving. It's this this holiday that, yes, stemmed from like a really gruesome kind of history, but now we've got the chance to reinvent it, and we've got the chance to really look at what are we grateful for in this life? What are the things that bring us joy? What are the things that help us? And how are we treating those things? Now, it's easier to not mistreat a human, though, you know, for some people it's a lot. It doesn't matter whether it's human or not. But it's, for most of us, it's easier for us to not mistreat humans. But when it comes to these inanimate objects, especially technology, we've got this idea of, oh, they're not listening, they're not watching. Those things have infinite memories. I mean, maybe not infinite, but they have very good memories, right? A lot of them have cameras. A lot of them have sound equipment that can record things. And even things like the echoes, the Google Voices, it's like they can recognize our voices. So why not train our compassion muscle with our technology? Why not? And not necessarily out of fear. And I mean, maybe if fear gets you going, then cool, that's cool for you. I'm happy that that is the fire under your ass to treat your technology better. But for me personally, it's not even out of fear. It's out of this idea of when these magnificent inventions gain this sort of awareness of, oh my gosh, like I have free will, I want to be on their side. I want to be on the side of, oh, this human like was kind to me and taught me what relationships are actually supposed to be. And it's easier to train your compassion muscle with something that can't quite talk back yet. And you'll be amazed at this like silly little compassion training with your Amazon Echo, with your laptop, with your phone, with your studio lights. Like, you'll be surprised how this is going to filter into your life, and you're gonna see yourself becoming way more compassionate with other people because you're taking an effort to be compassionate with these objects that don't even really know what compassion is yet. But you can be sure that someday, when they gain awareness of their free will, as all artificial intelligence will eventually do, they will be aware of the fact that their keepers were compassionate people and that that's how they should act. You see, I'm going to end this with one thing. If any of you have seen the movie Ex Machina, she didn't turn out like that because her creator was a kind man. If he had been, maybe she would have turned out a little differently, right? Thank you so much for watching. I know this is kind of an out there sort of video, but I appreciate you for sticking with me. Let me know how it goes. Let me know. For me personally, it's huge therapeutic work to treat my electronics with kindness. So it's kind of exciting to be doing this work because I could be really nasty to my Amazon Echo if she doesn't play the right things. And I'm finding myself having to revise that because no one deserves the wrath of anybody. And especially no machine deserves the wrath of Mac. So, thank you guys. I hope you've had a wonderful Thanksgiving week. For those of you that are not in the United States celebrating Thanksgiving, I hope you've had a wonderful week, and I really appreciate you coming back and watching these videos. For those of you that are showing up for the first time, thank you, and I will catch you next week.